What's up, everybody? My name is Matt, and welcome back to Bold Brew Gaming. So we're going to take a quick little break from the usual, what do we play? Watch Dogs. Because I've mentioned this in the past, I wanted to stream Surviving Mars, but, God, is this loud for anyone else? Let's just pick it up. Alright, this game isn't super audio heavy. I'm going to dial it back just a little bit. So, I figured we'd do a baseline video, that way I don't have to, A, explain everything in the beginning of the stream, and B, so I don't have to worry, like, if someone comes in late on the stream, they don't know what's going on, you know, we're playing the game, there's a lot of stuff. Not that it's overly complicated, but I figured I would just, A, like, warm myself back up to the game, and B, show you guys a little bit what it's about. So, we're on the beginning screen. Yeah, good one. Okay, so the base game is just pretty much about you building a sustainable colony on Mars, but I've got a few expansion packs. Yeah, cheeky. The biggest one being Green Mars. Oh my lord, this game really loves to blast its stuff. Turn it down a little bit. Hopefully that's not super quiet for all of you, but the base game is just to like build a colony and have people survive on Mars. But I got an expansion called Green Mars or something like that, where there are environmental factors, and you can build certain like thermal plants, and you have missions to increase the atmosphere and warm up the planet, release the ice, all that kind of good stuff. You can do that with this expansion pack. So now, on top of just building a self-sustainable colony on Mars, you can eventually have big swaths of forest and greenery and stuff like that, and lakes, you know? So that's a lot of fun. I have actually yet to fully terraform. I'll show you how the map works in a second, but I've yet to fully terraform an area in a game, mainly because like it takes a long time, and usually by the time I get like halfway there, I'll just wind up playing something else. But that's not going to happen this time. We are going to throw this in the streaming schedule just to break things up a little bit from Assassin's Creed every single Saturday. And hopefully we'll have some fun doing it. And it's cool because, like many of you probably know, NASA just landed a rover on Mars. And that thing just deployed like an RC helicopter or something like that. Well, it's a bunch of very cool stuff. So it's a futuristic game, but hopefully not that far off into the future. You know what I'm saying? So first thing we got to figure out is who our mission sponsor is. And a lot of this involves how difficult you want to make your game. And let's see, we've got the International Mars mission, very easy. It goes from very easy all the way up to hard. I usually go with USA because one of their bonuses... Wait, is it the USA? Yes, it is the USA. Okay, so you can see there at the bottom, each place... each mission sponsor has its own unique perks. This one at the very bottom, you get a Zeus rocket, so you get an increased rocket payload. You got an advanced Stirling generator, so that generates more power. You get more food from passenger rockets. Rockets synthesize fuel. That's really cool. I guess that's why it's very easy. And you start with a self-sufficient drone Wow, okay, that's really good. Self-sufficient dome prefab. But the thing with the USA, though, is it's the only one on here you can see at the bottom that has periodic additional funding. I think it's like every few days, every few Martian days or sols, you get a funding drop, which can really come in clutch. I've been in situations where I'm like starving, and that little bit of additional money really helps. Because basically the only other way to get money is to export rare minerals, and the only way you can get rare minerals, especially early game, is by building mining stuff. But the mining operations have to be manned by people, and you have to have a whole infrastructure in place before you get people up there. So that's one of the biggest draws to the USA for me. We got a Zeus rocket, same better payload. We got an advanced orbital probe. We got a mega mall. Okay, so I don't know if I've explained this before, but this game is basically Sims in space. We got Blue Sun, you get a harvester. I know a lot of this stuff probably isn't going to make a whole lot of sense, but it will in a second, because we're going to do a creative game. That way we don't get too bogged down, but we can still explore what this game has to offer for us. So this one has an RC harvester off the rip and a corporate office, so it employs workers and generates funding. You can buy applicants. You can build more rockets cheaply. You get deep metal extraction off the rip. And let's see. China's got an RC generator and a Tai Chi garden, so that helps with people. India has a constructor, a drone that can build buildings. Metals refinery slowly converts waste rock into metals. All building costs reduced by 20%. See, the interesting about this, each one of these have some type of tech associated with it. And like this one, a metals refinery and low G engineering are both things that you can unlock in due time. So as the game progresses, these benefits kind of wear off. It's mostly, I think, in early game where this stuff really impacts you. This one, RC Seeker, it works as a sensor tower when stationary. That, and I believe the constructor, that's unique. I don't think you can research those. But some of the other stuff you can, like the low G lab, you can research. Space Y, definitely not a ripoff of anything. We got a Dragon rocket, has a smaller cargo capacity, but it's faster with less fuel. Comes with a solar array, cheaper advanced resources. That's nice. We got a large supply pad. So you can see how all of this stuff spreads out into its own thing. And we're going to go over more of this stuff. You can pause this video to read all the different benefits if you want to. Like I said, this is an introductory video. We can go over the specifics when we get into the live stream, because I want all of y'all's input, because we're going to build our own place. And if it succeeds and soars to the heavens, it's our damn fault. We did it. And if it crashes and burns, that's okay. We're going to distribute the crushing defeat and the feeling of failure amongst all of us, so that way it doesn't feel as bad. You know what I'm saying? Last one's random, so you know how that goes. Okay, so I set this up wrong. Hold on. All right, creative mode. So just for the sake, let's go with the USA, and we also have a commander profile. Again, I'm not going to go over all these, but you can pause this if you want to read all of them, so you get caught up once we get to the live stream. But this is all basically the same principle as choosing your mission sponsor. It's just like additional perks and stuff like that that you get that help. Again, with this stuff though, see, like the bonus tech on the Futurist, autonomous sensors. I'm pretty sure that's a technology you can research. I might be wrong about that. But then tech that's researched faster, that is, completely unique. You can't just research that. So let's just go with a rocket scientist, because why the heck not? Colony logo, we can pick all of our different logos. That's a lot of fun. We can do that once we get. So this is another expansion. Another expansion pack that came with the game was that you can set other colonies to like rival you, and if you get certain milestones and research it before they do, you get a bonus. And that's cool, but as you're gonna find out, our map is just a grid, and let's just say it's 10 by 10, right? My impression was that the map, we were gonna have multiple people on the same map. But as far as I know, when you set rivals, they don't appear on your map at all, and you can trade with them, but they're at like different spots on the planet. You can't directly see them and like do joint missions with them. Like you can, but it's not on the map. Like I thought you were gonna be mix and matching like RC units and doing stuff around the map, which you're not gonna do. So I got all these expansions in a bundle. That's the only one I'm not really too fond about. So this, again, just multipliers. Some of it make the game easier, some of it make it harder, some just make it a little more spicy. Like I said, we are on creative mode, so let me set a few things here real quick. Alright, so I've got all of that pretty well set up. Now, here is the interesting part. I screwed it up. Hold on. Okay, so this game, one of the things that increases replayability a lot with this game is this feature right here. It has mysteries. So initially when you get going, but like when I first started playing this game, it seems like it's a purely sim game where you're just going through the motions with science and all that stuff, trying to make a colony survive. However, there's a list of mysteries here that throw random shit at you. And some of the mysteries are more passive. They just like, oh, it's a cool observation, cool stuff happens, but in the end it turns out okay. Some of the other ones, as you can see, these all have a difficulty rating. Some of these are a massive pain in the ass. The last map that I had this one, which is Wildfire, basically, kind of ironic, honestly, because I was playing it like a few months ago, and I always set it to random, but it's about a disastrous pandemic that like spreads between Earth and Mars, and you've got to research the cure. Yeah, so funny that, right? Doesn't really matter on this one because we're not going to be playing it long enough. So here we can choose our starting payload. What we're going to want, like, we have RC Commander, Explorer, Transport. Again, you don't have to know all the ins and outs of what this stuff is. It'll all become apparent in time. Are they still supporting this game? Because this was not here a few months ago when I played it. RC Safari. Mokotobia takes tourists on a safari. Configure a route with waypoints near interesting sites. Oh, that's really cool. I hope they're still supporting this game. This is really good. The game's really good, as I hope all of y'all will. I hope it's as interesting to watch as it is to play. I'm going to try to, bump up that factor because I want all of y'all's input when we get to the stream. But, yeah, that's really cool. Not that important off the rip because we're not going to have humans on Mars for quite a while. So this is a list of the prefabs. When you're going to hear prefab come up a lot. What a prefab is, as far as I understand, you just need the resources to build a building. And this is important because a lot of these buildings, like a Stirling generator, whatever. Actually, Stirling generators, they're a good source of power. They don't come till way later in the research tree. Same with a lot of these factories that you're going to need to keep your civilization alive. They don't come until later. So what this does is it gives you, like, if you have 2 prefabs, it allows you to buy, or allows you to build 2 of the building in question as long as you have the resources. So they're very important, and I usually wind up buying, like, importing a lot from Earth. And you see we have a commander, and like I said, all this stuff will become apparent in just a second. So we are going to go ahead and move to the next screen. Here's a part where it requires some thinking. You know what I'm saying? So as you can see on the bottom left, we've got 2 columns. One's threats, one's resources. In an ideal, like, if you want it easy, you can just bing bong this little cursor around until you find something with max materials and very low hazards. But like I said, it doesn't really matter right now, so we're just going to pick a spot. But like I said, you can go anywhere on the surface of Mars here. So you can see, and in the middle up thing, yeah, you can see the mean temperature and the topography. Now, the topography is important because that's going to influence how much you're going to have to change the elevation in order to put a building down, which can or cannot be, a giant pain in the ass. So a dust storm isn't that fun. Neither is a dust devil. Let's try to get a spot where we might have a little bit of spice in our life. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's go right there. So that way we have, because dust is pretty self-explanatory. It gets dusty, and then a lot of your wind, a lot of different buildings just start shutting down. So if you're in a rough spot, like with your colony, and then suddenly the game's like, guess what? You've got mail. It's millions of dust particles, and then like you can't generate power for like 3 days. That can be a big problem. So we've got this person here. He's going to help us. He's going to talk to us, make us feel nice and loved during our time on Mars. Just a narrator. You know what I'm saying. So first step, we can, it gives us one area, and we can land there if we want to. The thing is, there's not really a rush. So like if we want to, we could wait around and wait for all of these sectors to be scanned. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and add them to the queue. You can add up to 9. But since we are in easy mode, let's go ahead and land this bad boy up here. So now we can turn it up because we got a little... Jesus Christ, I'm sorry if I just blew your shit out. And we got to speed up time because this shit move real slow. All right, how do I... Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, so basic resources. We got our commander. Oh, sorry, that's the explorer. God damn it. Okay, so the explorer's job is basically to roam around Mars, and we're going to discover these little anomalies. Sometimes they'll give us a boost in research. Other times they'll give us a cool new technology. Sometimes they give us money.
Research complete. Milestone achieved.
Thanks. So the important role that the Explorer plays is that it roams around and it can get you goodies that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get. And that's its principal function. Sometimes it becomes involved with like certain missions around the different parts of Mars and stuff like that. But let me see. Wait, hold on here. There we go. A little bit of background music going on, so we're not in the dead vacuum of space. And sad. So, moving on, get a little bit more explanation here. We got an RC Commander. That is a small mobile unit, and it commands a small collection of drones, as you can see. Now, the drones are the backbone of our entire fucking society, right? So, if drones aren't here, we're screwed. Now, the thing with drones, you can see this circle, this radius around the drone commander. What we're going to wind up building is called drone stations, I believe, something like that. But basically, they're permanent.
Anomaly found.
Ooh, look at that. See, so now we're going to take Homeboy over here. We're going to say, hey, go scan that. We're going to see what we can find. So this RC Commander acts as a mobile base. Now we're going to get towers that are obviously stationary, and we can assign drones to them. And as you can see, this drone load only goes up to 8. The towers you can get like I think up to 40 per tower. And the drones do all of the heavy lifting. For some reason, fucking humans don't want to get their hands dirty here on Mars, okay? So if something breaks, every time the robots, the drones, they're going to fix it. So that's why it's important to keep your drone infrastructure up and running. Yeah, here we go. A drone hub. So we got to build that. But what's the problem? We don't have any resources and we don't have any money. Actually, we do have some resources. Sweet. So there's just a metal deposit right there. Let me get the show on the road. There we go. Okay. What does it need? It needs power. How do we generate power? We got power stuff. Here we go. So we can build a solar panel, as always, or we can go with one of these Stirling generators. Now, we can put it right next to it, but just for the sake of a little bit of demonstration here, we got to put a power cable, attach it to that. It's going to get built, connected. Boom. Now we're in business. So we're going to open that so it generates more power. It makes it dirtier, which means it needs maintenance more often, but I feel like the trade-off is pretty well worth it.
You'd think the Explorer had found buried treasure the way our scientists were reacting. It was a sulfur-rich regolith.
There you go. The Explorer vehicle gathered various soil samples from far and wide around the anomaly site and fed us the data. For hours, the telemetry was filled with buzzing chatter as the scientists at Mission Control discussed the implications of the element and made inventive plans about the future. The time of the expedition was limited. We urged them to make a final decision. So this is where some choice comes in. This is very frequent in the game where you have to choose between one thing or another. Sometimes it's pretty benign. Other times it has some pretty serious implications. So with this one, we can either get 1,000 research or reduce the cost of engineering tech by 10%. Now, obviously in the stream, this is where all of you are going to give me some ideas on what we should do. In this situation, I don't really need the research right now. I mean, we're in creative mode. I don't need anything really, but if this was a normal game, I would go with a permanent decrease in engineering costs, right? Because that's going to help us throughout the entire game. So this is our bread and butter right here. Now, one of the things that we're going to want is you can see let's explore the different tabs just for my sake because I need to warm up. This is kind of a general tab section where we have a bunch of assorted items. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we've got the electrical section where we have all of our power generation and storage. Power storage, very important. Same principle over here with water, because we have to generate water for our people that come, but also for different functions. And we store it. We got to connect it with pipes. We've got farms, important to making food. People like to eat something other than red dust. I don't really know why that is, but I guess some people have, refined palates or some shit. Come on, it's iron. You know what I'm saying? Get swole. So we've got another critical element. Jesus Christ. We've got another critical element here, and that is resource storage. So this is one of the things that really fucked me up the first time that I played this game. So let's say we got a storage depot. This is a universal depot. They're going to store, certain amounts of everything here. So that's good to put off the rip. These you can specify between all the different materials. We got metal, concrete, food, rare metals, polymer, electronics, machine parts, fuel, and seeds. Fuel being a very important thing. It's also one of the easiest resources to produce. When we stream, I guarantee you I'm going to have a massive, massive pallet of fuel. Don't judge me. It's going to happen. And you know what? It's fucking fun. It's awesome to see a bunch of red barrels just sitting there, okay? Even though it's very dangerous. So we've got that tab. Water production. These are all of the different manufacturing areas, because we got the concrete extractor all the way. See, a lot of these need to be occupied by people, so a lot of this stuff doesn't even come into play until later in the game, other than the fuel refinery. Again, very important because it's fun.
Select
Thank
the
you.
sector to scan.
Yeah, I get it. Then we got the different dome types. We got everything ranging from a small dome all the way up into a mega dome that I sadly can't pull up. We got a mega trigon dome, so very large. We can go big because we don't want to go home, because that's not really an option. We either stay here or we fucking die, okay? Stay with me. Then we got passages, or we can connect two domes. That's also a critical element of the game. And a passage ramp. This is purely for the drones to go over the passages, so they don't have to keep going around. You guys get it, okay? Then we got the different living complexes. We got the different accommodations so people don't get sad. Got all the different... these are things that go in the middle. These are called spires, and they just improve one or two elements, like big time, in a dome. We've got different things that bring comfort and just make stuff look nice. We got more beacons, more comfort. Look at this. We can build this right here. Look at this. Boom. First landing. Hell yeah. We can do different banners, and this is the terraforming section, and this, well, that's not the terraforming section, sorry. This is the terraforming section. All this stuff has to do with improving those 4 stats you see at the top of the screen. We got the atmosphere, temperature, water level, and trees. So obviously these are also a little bit later in the game, but come into play if you want to build like open air domes, which is just aesthetically pleasing. And you can build this capital city, which is this massive dome, not dome. Now the caveat there is if you're in a dangerous area and then the environment takes a dip, all those domes that are open, everyone dies. That's bad for morale. That's not what we want. Okay, so just a few more critical things, because I don't want this to go on, forever and ever. I just want to give you guys a general feel of the game. And I know one of you, I believe it was Jeremy, said that you have this game installed. I'd highly recommend you get to playing it, because it's a very long game, but it's also rewarding and interesting. The way that they balance this game, like the gameplay with the mystery, with the sim aspect, it's a lot of fun. I would definitely suggest you try it. But let me give you guys a few tips. Big thing here. Everything breaks. The thing with this game, the timer doesn't really start. Oh shit, see, this is another choice we got, right? I'm not really going to worry about it right now because it's not going to impact us too much. So one of the things you need is everything breaks. With this drone controller, these drones will not travel outside of this area. That means if there's a resource to be had and it's right there, right on the edge, they will not get it. Another thing is that the resources are not automatically balanced between the different drone hubs, right? So you can get into a situation where you have a drone hub here, and say you have a drone hub, that's the edge of the map, you have a drone hub over here. And this is just like a storage area, let's say. So you forget about it, whatever. You get later in the game, you get a bunch of notifications that's like, hey, everything's breaking at the same time, and it can be stressful, but we don't worry about it. So everything's breaking over here, but because they don't have any resources and they're not automatically balanced, you can have a stockpile over here. They will not the ground-based drones will not automatically transfer resources between two site points, right? But that is where this thing comes in, a shuttle hub. This thing fucking amazing. Absolutely critical to the game. And it's flying drones. And they will automatically balance resources amongst different points, which is fucking top tier. Another interesting thing I want to point out, just so y'all don't have to learn it the hard way, is that, well, before we go on that, let me just say, so if you have, let's say you set up a depot, right? Now, what these drones are doing right off the rip is they are taking the precious metals that we have and they're taking the fuel and they're loading it back into the ship. Okay. So, see, we have this stockpile here that's pretty much maxed out on everything. The problem is, again, they don't have to be that far away from each other to not pick each other up. I don't have another drone prefab, so I can't fucking demonstrate it. But if you have a settlement right over here, and then you put a separate universal depot for these other sections, and let's say you took another drone depot and you wanted to maximize the area covered, so you would put that drone depot over here so that these lines are touching. If they're not intersecting, and if you don't have the universal depot right down the middle, then again, they won't resource share. And the thing with this is that that's also a later thing, like down the line. So you're not going to get that off the rip usually, but I got it in this one. So that's cash money. Good thing it doesn't make any difference at all. Last thing I want to mention is the domes. So the thing with the domes is, let's say we want to put a dome here, and these guys are going to freak out because I don't have enough resources to buy everything. But let's say we got domes, right? Now we got 3 domes. We don't have 3 domes yet. We got 3 domes. For some reason, the way that this game balances things out is that these domes can and will share resources and share, what they have. So if we wanted this
Milestone achieved.
Thanks. If we wanted this dome to have a bunch of living accommodations, right? We can do that. We can make this an entirely residential dome. We use a passage to connect this dome, boom, right there. Okay, let me just, they gotta finish building the dome first. Come on, baby, work with me. Work with me. Work with me. There we go. So if we connect all these domes with the passages, they can share resources. So everyone can live here. And let's say we set up a bunch of like your quality of living stuff, like your parks, your bars, your grocery stores, your hospital, all that in this dome. And we want people to work off of this dome. So we come here, we got all the factories, we've got all the external mining equipment, all that stuff is in this dome. The max that people will spread out in a dome is 3, 2 removed from where they live. Why is that important? That means that you cannot, and this is mainly just like me giving you a little nudge here because I had to look this up on a Reddit. If you're playing this game for yourself, okay, now we're autosaving, great.
Resources are low.
Yeah, I know. That doesn't matter. So the kicker here is, let's say we have that same setup, and then we're running low on food. So we want to make a farming settlement over here, right? People who live in this dome will not travel to this dome, even if they're all connected. It's just too far for them to walk, I guess. And another thing that they will share, they don't only share the buildings that they have, they will share the life support. So with this dome, we can say, fucking plop down all of our good stuff, the water, the electricity, the oxygen supply. And it will share those supplies across this dome and this dome. But if we go to this dome, it won't get any life support, it won't get any power, won't get any water, no bueno. And this will become a lot more apparent in the stream. I know this video is going long for like not a lot of gameplay, and I apologize for that, but I did want to preface this so we didn't have to waste time doing it in the stream. And we always have something to reference back to if someone comes in late. They're like, oh, I don't know what's going on. They can watch the video, and then we're all caught up. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that when this game actually starts moving, timing is incredibly important. And I mean that because, like, let's say you call a group of colonists from Earth. They come to Mars. Well, you can control when they come and land. The problem is that they only have like 2 or 3 days worth of food, so you've got to land them. So let's say you got a bunch of colonists, you land them right here, and you don't know what I just told you. And you're like, all right, you guys are going to work on the farm right here, and then we're going to go down because we have residential space here. They're going to get out, not know what to do, and fucking die because they're almost not going to have any life support. So keep that in mind. That is why I typically, if resources provide, I get one of these big domes, put it in the center. It's being a prick. Anyway, you get the idea. I take a big dome, I put it in the center. That way we can have a central, like, operational place. And that way, see if I could fucking build it here, but I've got too much shit in the way. If I could, there we go. It's okay, it doesn't have to look pretty right now. That way, imagine this was in the center. We could connect this dome to this dome. We connect all these domes to this centerpiece. That way, someone in this dome can travel. Okay, just get away from me. Someone can travel from this dome to the center, out to this one, and we mitigate that problem. So that's my tip for you. If you want to play this game, keep that in mind, or else you will land a bunch of colonists. They're all going to die. Then everyone that's already here is going to be pissed because you're like, I needed those people to work the farms because I don't have any fucking food. So that's enough for that. That's all I want to go into right now, just to get some basic stuff so we know what we're dealing with on Friday. Go ahead and pause that. And, well, I still need this, don't I? Like I said, wanted to go ahead and provide that so we have a baseline for what we're doing on Saturday during the stream. Not that I'm going to do this Saturday. I haven't decided, actually, so there you go. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If I should play Valhalla and progress that story a little bit, or if you guys want to see this new game so we can get whatever our new colony, whatever. We can start our new colony on Mars. We're going to beat Elon Musk there, okay? So let me know in the comments below which one you'd like to see. I'm totally down for playing either, so it's totally in y'all's hands. So yeah, I wanted to give that. So we got a baseline, give a little bit of tips if you want to play the game for yourself, which I would highly recommend. It's a lot of fun, especially if you get the expansion packs, which, by the way, the one that I didn't mention is a pet pack where the colonies will just suddenly spawn in like dogs and cats and shit, and that's a lot of fun to just see dogs walking around your colony. So yeah, but like I said, I got all those in a bundle. The game I think was like $20 or $30 plus like $10 or $12 for the bundle. So I'd highly recommend you play it, if for nothing else, then just to, you know where we are. Not if for nothing else. What am I saying? Play the game if you want to. I'd highly recommend it. If it's not your thing, whatever. But I think it's a very fun game. At any rate, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like I said, leave a comment down below. Let me know which game you want to see me play this Saturday, because I am very excited to get back into the swing of things, both with the posting videos like this one and with streaming. It's a lot of fun. I really missed it last week, so I'm glad we're back. So that'll do it for me for this episode. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. I appreciate it so very much. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I love seeing the family grow. I love seeing more people here. I love getting to interact with all of you, especially on Saturdays when we can do it live. I think that's a lot of fun, and I'm very glad that we happened to get into streaming, because that hadn't really been anything I considered before until I realized how long Assassin's Creed would be. So I'm glad that we got into that. I'm glad I can interact with all of y'all in a more direct way, in addition to the videos. So you guys know what I'm talking about. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. If not, keep your chin up. We're almost halfway through the week. And then on Friday, we'll play some more Watch Dogs. And on Saturday, we'll get a stream in. We'll all recap and chill out on a Saturday. I don't know exactly what time yet. I apologize. I promise I'm trying to nail down like a solid streaming time. It's just very, it differs, you know what I'm saying. So again, thank you all very much. I appreciate it so much. Remember to stay happy, stay safe, and I will see you all on Friday. Bye bye, everybody.